Hey everyone, welcome. This is vlog 105 and today is March 10, Tuesday. It is 11:23 a.m. Will I ever learn? Welcome. My name is Linda. I'm also known as Wolhobby. That's also the name of my web shop where I sell hand-dyed yarns, crafty notions, knitting needles and my own patterns. And today I have 2 finished objects. I'm going to show 1 work in progress and I have some future knitting plans that I'm going to share with you. Last weekend I was vending at a fair at the CreaWeekend Hardenberg and I received some presents. I will go over some of them quickly. And first of all, someone made me this pretty project bag. Don't you think it's lovely? And with that project bag, there were also these 2 gnomes. As you know, I am collecting a little more gnomes because Sarah Shira will join me at the fair at Breidagen Nijkerk on October 16th and 17th. I think that's right. Or is it 17 and 18? No, it's a Friday and a Saturday. Anyway, it's still way in the future. I got some lovely gifts and a little gnome, and from a thrift shop, someone who found this. I got a stitch marker with a cat and a little heart. A cat and a little heart with the letter L. I received more gnomes. This is Nana, knitted by Carla. I don't know the name of this one, but this one is knitted by Trientje and a gnome by Saskia. So, all happy gifts. I got this tea mug. It says, tea is a hug in a cup. Sven made me something. Sven joined us at the fair on Saturday and he went to do a workshop and made me these 2 candles. So these were in your regular cardboard coffee mug, coffee cup. That was the word I was looking for. And when he made them, the instructions were to leave them in the cup until 24 hours later. So, and then I took off the cups and I will wait to burn these when Sven is at home, because that is just very nice. Let's see, there are a lot of things on my note list that I can skip because they are particularly for the Dutch knitters or the knitters based in the Netherlands. Let's see, I showed you some gifts. I have some acquisitions that I made at CreaWeekend Hardenberg. And first of all, one of the knitters that had a Wolhobby's advent calendar, she came to show the shawl that she was knitting and it was absolutely stunning. The colors worked so well together. That is something that we try very hard to make it work, of course, because all advent calendars that leave the house here are unique, because everybody gets a unique color palette. And she knitted in a little thread of Make It Bloemchen by Rico Design, and that gave me the idea for the XandyAlong. Next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, Xandy Peters will teach at Wolhobby, and then after that, from March 21st, during the entire time of spring, I am hosting a XandyAlong. Every Xandy Peters pattern is eligible and is a participatory make-along, so you don't have to finish your project within the time that the make-along is going. But I am going to knit myself a Bloemen Brioche. I showed my Bloemen Brioche last week or the week before, and I was looking for colors, and I was absolutely sure that this was going to be my background color. This is a new color. While I was dyeing up palettes for the merengue, this color came to life, and this is called Cranberry. And I wanted to combine this with a yellow, with a warm yellow. But when I saw the shawl with the sparkly yarn knitted in, I knew I wanted to add a sparkle to my background color, and I could not find the right match. So this is going to be knitted in. And although this is not matchy color wise, it will be okay, because this is just such a thin thread, you will hardly notice where it goes. You do see the sparkle, however. I already bought cones of this at Munich Knits, and I said to Rob, we should really add this to our collection. Now that the universe showed me a second time, I'm actually going to add it to my collection. This is Make It Bloemchen by Rico Design. I bought it at Woolly Adventures. There is their logo. It has 375 meters on 25 grams. And because this is going to be the contrast, this will be my yarn combination. Don't you just love it? So Cranberry and Quiet Sea, and this Make It Bloemchen. I can't wait to start this. So that was one of my acquisitions. I also want to knit the Dreamscape shawl by Xandy Peters, and that shawl has 1980 beads in there, I think. So I was on a mission to buy beads, because I do have beads here at my home, but 1980 is quite a lot. So I went to find beads, and I found these Miyuki 80 beads in this beautiful blue colorway. I went to the vendor that sold these, and I wanted to find a combination with my Where's My Martini yarn, but that didn't work because they had a huge collection of beads, but they did not have 2000 of one kind in many colors. So this was one that had enough in stock, so I picked this one. But later during the fair I found another vendor that sold beads. They sold Toho beads, and I asked if those were from the same quality as the Miyuki beads, because when you are going to put beads in your knitting, you want them to have no sharp ends, because then you will obviously cut your yarn. You want the holes in there to be about the same size, and you want the beads to be the same size, of course. So I was interrupted, so as always I'm wondering where I was. I think I showed these Miyuki beads, but I bought also enough of these bluish and purpley beads. And I did not bring yarn with me when I found this vendor, but I absolutely love the purple beads, and they would go very well with either lavender or amethyst. I think due to the contrast I even like this one better. So these beads will be for the Dreamscape shawl. And again, when I was visiting this vendor, they had so many colors of beads, but not 2000 of each color. So I was a little limited in my choice, and I could always order online, but well, I was there and I wanted to just buy my beads. And for this color, well, this would be a no-brainer, but I am not sure what, because this is going to go in my blooming brioche. I'm not sure which color I want to pick for this one, but well, because of the fact that I will start 2 Xandy Peters projects, we will just have to see. As always, I'm completely off my game because of the interruption. I have 3 finished objects, but one of them I can't show, and it is not my super secret test knit that I have had on the needles for a couple of weeks. This was a nice little project in between things, and I spent most of my knitting time that I had last week before we went to the fair on this little project, but I can't show it yet. I can, however, show one of my other secret test knits, because that got released last Friday, and that is the Tight Path Shawl by Adam Cleevely. Adam Cleevely has a very nice Instagram channel. I will put all the info down below. If you don't know him yet, and if you don't follow him yet, go check him out. He's really funny. We met at Munich Knits, and this Tight Path shawl features these special stitches, the chrysalis. And this shawl really flew off my needles, because all the small sections, like you started and then you did this special stitch section, and then you just had to do some garter ridges and then special stitches again. This was done in no time, and then you end with these really big whole section at the border, which was also really nice. And I have been wearing this shawl at the fair already, because the fair started on Friday and the pattern got released on Friday, so I was allowed to wear it in public. And let's see, I started this one on January 23rd, and but the first week of February I was at Breda, in Breda for Breidagen, a 2-day fair, so, and then 1 day to set up, so 3 days, and then of course the preparations and the aftermath. So I did not knit lot on this in that week, but when I came back I picked it back up again. I finished this on February 12th. This is in my DK weight 100% superwash merino, 225 meters on 100 grams. I knitted this on 4.5 millimeter. I forgot to find out what that is in US size, but 4.5 millimeter. And the results, the end measurements are 2 meters and 10 centimeters wide and 42 centimeters in height. And the green color is my Monstera colorway. I used 141 grams. The white is my buttermilk, that took 35 grams. The yellow is golden leaves, that took 17 grams. And the border is knit in olivander, and that took 22 grams. And Adam generously gifted me 5 patterns for a giveaway. So if you would like to win the tight part shawl pattern, comment down below using hashtag Adam in there. For once, I thought about making the hashtag easy for the English knitters as well. Yay me! Like I said, this was a joy to knit. It flew off my needles, and I'm very happy that it turned out so pretty. This shawl is also featured in the pattern. Pictures of this shawl. And then I have one other finished object. It's not a secret. And I will give you a few seconds to decide what my finished object probably is. And I bet you thought it was mouwen, and it isn't. I have finished yesterday my Seriously Holy shawl by Stephen West, and I will stand up because this shawl is really, really big, and it's lovely. It's an all over brioche shawl. If I wrap it around my shoulders, you can see how large and how deep it is. And I found my Ravelry page. I started this on Christmas Eve 2023, and I finished it yesterday, so March 11th. No, March 9th. And like I said, this is all over brioche, and Seriously Holy takes, of course, some Suri yarn. This is Uzi Suri Silk Paka by the Wee Yarn Company. And as you can see, I nearly used up both my skeins. I was a bit afraid that I was not going to make it, but I did. And the other yarn is by Undercover Otter. This is their sock. I still have my project page here. Let me just check for a sec. Biosock in the colorway Bouncer. And I had 2 skeins of this, obviously. But the second skein was had way more red than the first skein. If I hold my shawl up like this, you can kind of see where I switched to the new colorway. On the back you can see it even better, but I don't mind. I tried to decide if I wanted to alternate these 2, but I started it and I was like, no, I'm not going to alternate in a brioche piece. So, but this turned out really nice and I'm totally okay with it. One of the 2 did bleed a little, so I rinsed and rinsed my shawl several times yesterday, but it kept bleeding into the water. That is no point at all, because I put it in cold water and I look in the bucket what is happening. So I saw that the water was changing color, so I took it out and I rinsed it again and I took it out, and after 3 rinses I decided that it was enough and I put it in the spin dryer. Well, you know what I mean. So if I need to wash this again, I just need to be very careful, but I am always careful with my hand knits. I absolutely love that this is finished. I was a little bit worried that I would not like the end product very much, but I do. I am liking the end product. So the Seriously Holy by Stephen West. I still need to make some pictures and put it on my Ravelry page and finish the project on my Ravelry page, but I will do that after I finished recording. There's one item that I did work on a lot last week. Well, a lot. Rob's socks are the perfect fair knit. The stitch marker is here, but I think I was already a little into the leg. But anyways, I finished the leg, I knit in the heel, I finished the gusset stitches, and I only need to do 50 something more rounds on the foot. And that is just knit, knit, knit. This is what I have left of my first yarn cake. I already knew that I was not going to make it with one skein because my husband wears a size sleeve sock. So it does take quite a lot of yarn, but I already have a second cake ready to go. And I hope to finish these this week. We are in somewhat cooler weather again, and it's a bit rainy and gloomy outside, so if I finish them, it might still be cold enough to wear them for a couple of weeks, and otherwise they will just return once winter is here again. Oh, I forgot one thing to show you. Look what Liane made for me. There are several things that I didn't show you, but I wanted to show you this with my new Wolhobby logo, a baseball cap. Really nice. Yes, I think that's it for now. Yes, I covered everything. Well, I covered most things. I want to thank you for watching. And I wish you happy knitting, happy making, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye!